Hi, my name is Chris Boyer, otherwise known as Sloth Paladin, and I'm going to show you how to use these mouth files I've created to get animated lip sync. So the first thing you'll do is, I already have a project, it's just a picture here, non-animated track, and I've got two blank faces. So what we're going to do is we're going to import my all my face parts. So we have the male face. Make sure your PNG sequence is checked. And actually, I'm going to rename that. So we've got male mouths. That's, it'll be a little bit confusing if we don't rename stuff. And then grab some eyebrows for the guy. That should be all for the males. I'm going to just make a new folder. I'll throw those in there. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to need to create a new composition. So make sure your frame rate is the same. If you are doing, so we'll just start by making it square. We can change this later, and we're going to call this just the male face. I'm going to make it just 240 frames long. If you're not actually seeing your timeline in frames, you can press Control and click from regular to just frames. I find it easier to work on this voice stuff if you have frames selected. So I'm going to grab some face components for the male. Let's pop in the eyes. As you can see, they're probably way too large. So I'm going to transform them and set them at 50.4. That is going to drop us right down there. And brows, mouths. Now I'm just going to copy these properties. So we have them all set and ready to go. So the first thing we'll need to do is, you are going to want to right click or command click for Mac users, I believe, or control, whatever the button is. And hold on, and go to time, enable time remapping, and go to the first keyframe and do toggle hold keyframes, and we'll just delete this last keyframe there, and we'll do that on all of these. Okay, so now none of this moves and they all disappear. So just make sure to stretch your mouths out to match the end of your thing, and now you can just on any of these select all kinds of different shapes. So we'll just start that regular eyes. Let's change the brows a little bit. You can just cycle through those. So now you have a classic smile. Now we're going to take our composition and go to composition settings and stretch the width out to 3420. Okay, and that gives us this nice big wide face. And I'm going to just create a new solid, and I'm going to make it yellow because Lego dudes are yellow. Okay, plop that at the bottom. And if you want to have some guides, you can always create some other solids. We'll take all of these and probably put the transparent or opacity at about like 20. There we go. We're pretty much ready for action. Now we just need to get some voices to work. So I'm going to open up Papago, and I'm going to open an audio file. And let's see, hide that. So what we got.
She doesn't understand.
So she doesn't understand. Some random capitalizing for fun, and just hit the English translate. So
She doesn't understand.
okay, so I actually have a Lego version of this, so you can play it through.
She doesn't understand.
Now I'm just going to export this, and I can change that to a text file. And lo and behold, it will pop up and show me every letter for the shape. So at 22, and you're going to have to just subtract 1 from all of these numbers. So 21, we're going to have the etc. shape. And if you go look at this, the etc. shape is 2. So on our time remap, I can hit 2. And then we've got at 25, so that's 24. We have the E shape, which is going to be, if we check our handy guide, 1. Okay, so, and then at 27, we are going to go to etc., which is 2. And then at 29, we have the AI shape, but that's really big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from 1 and then transition into it 2. So we kind of transition into 0, which is the AI. Okay, and so now etc. is at 30. Oh. Well, that happens too fast, so I'm just going to say that he can't open his mouth fast enough to get the full size in for that. So I'm just going to do the rest so you kind of understand what I'm doing, I'm sure, and then we'll work on adding it onto our video composition. So you can. So I've got this done, and now we just need to add it to our video footage. So make sure you've been saving, of course, and let's just take our male face, pop it in here. We're going to do the C cylinder. Just plop that down there. And now we just need to reposition this onto the guy. So you're going to want your cylinder to line up. And I'm holding shift down as I resize this. And there we go. It's a pretty good looking little guy. Let's hit the full resolution, just get a peek at what that looks like. Turn these guys off. There we go. So you just need a little masking to fix the hair. Now I'm going to turn that back down, like a third or something. Big. See if my computer can handle this. And I'm just going to turn the background back on, and I'm going to line up the light. So I'm going to turn the intensity up on our thing a little bit, and we just want to match up the light direction so that it matches the actual photograph here. because it's coming from more of this side, this side over here. So I'll move it that way a little bit. Just take that. You can also adjust things like light height. Maybe a little like that. Maybe turn down the intensity just a notch. Like 200 maybe. It's way too... Yeah, that seems to work pretty well for us. And let's... Yeah. Just trying to get the... Yeah. This side of the face should be brighter than that side of the face. So... Now we've got that done. I'm going to turn that background back off. And what I like to do on these is maybe make them slightly transparent, like 95, just barely transparent. And put a little bit of blur on there. Okay, let's get a good... Where's my Gaussian blur? Maybe pop up 0.5 blurriness. Let's look at it at the full resolution. And we're going to rotate this. Yeah. Okay, so... Oh. There you go. And you can see it's now animated onto the guy. It's in the full screen. And that's basically how you do it. The additional thing is once things start moving, you'll probably want to use some motion tracking to lock your cylinder onto the minifigure. And then you'll need to deal with X, Y, and Z rotations on the cylinder itself, probably by hand to get everything tuned in perfectly. But you can get, this is how you get some minifig facial animation. It's just, you can fine tune it as much as you want until you get it exactly the way you want it. Just make sure that, you know, the level of blur on the face matches, like, if your character's out of focus, obviously you should be having a more severe blur. It's just, you know, basic screen matching stuff. So that's it. That's how you add my voice, my faces onto your project so that you can get some cool lip sync.